The Brook, written by Alfred Tennyson. I come from haunts of coot and hern, I make a sudden silly, and sparkle out among the fern, to picker down a valley. By 30 hills I hurry down, on sleep between the ridges, by 20 torps a little torn, and half 100 bridges, to lost by the Philip firm at flow, to join the brimming river. For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. I chatter over stony ways, in little chirps and trebles. I bubble into adding bass. I bubble unto the pebbles. With many a curve my banks I fret, my many I fill and fallow, and many a fairy full in seat, with willow weed and mellow. I chatter as I flow to join the brimming river, for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. I wind about and in and out, and hear a blossom sailing, and hear their lusty throat, and hear a deer a grayling, and hear a deer a foamy flake upon me as I travel, with many a silver water break above the golden gravel, and roll them all along and flow, to join the brimming river, for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. I steal by the lawns and grassy plats, I slide by hazel covers, I move to sweet forget-me-nots, that grow for happy lovers. I slip, I slide, I gloom, I glance, among my skimming shallows, I make the net sunbeam tints against my sandy shallows, murmur under moon and stars, in brambly wilderness. I linger by my singly bursts, I loiter round my creases, and out again I curve and flow, to join the brimming river, for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Now let us discuss the summary of the poem. The poem The Brook by Alfred Tennyson is one of the most rhythmic and picturesque poems in English. In this poem, the poet traces the journey of the brook or stream as it rushes down from the remote hills to join the overflowing river in the valley below. Through the words of the brook, which assumes the role of a narrator, the poet invokes the sounds and sights of the countryside as he follows the journey of the brook from the lonely hill down to the populated villages and towns. The journey of the brook begins in the highest hills, ranges which are the dwelling places of water birds like the coot and the heron. It then flows down the narrow hills, ranges and through the tiny villages, farms and fields in the brimming sunlight, and at night scattering, gurgling, and bubbling as it flows downwards in the curving moments. The poet, through a series of sound, images, and onomatopoetic words, describes the moment of the brook and brings out certain universal truths which form the central idea of the poem. That human life is transitory, but nature is eternal, that there is an end to every form of life, but the brook, a representation of nature, is everlasting. This idea is expressed in the line which forms the refrain of the poem, for men may come and men may go, but I go on forever.